A very good o'clock, dear students. Here I am Nikita ma'am, your geography teacher. Students, today we are going to continue our discussion on the chapter 9, that is climate of India. And yesterday we discussed about two seasons of India, that is the northeast monsoon season and the winter season. Okay, so today we will discuss about the distribution of rainfall in India. So most of the part of Indian subcontinent receives rainfall from the southwest monsoon, okay, as we studied. And this rainfall is not evenly distributed throughout the country, it is unevenly distributed, okay. Some areas get heavy rainfall and some areas get very scanty rainfall, whereas some areas are getting good, moderate, and enough rainfall, okay. So let us talk about the regions of heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall means over 200 centimeter in a year. Okay. For this fact, let me tell you once that the rainfall is measured by an instrument called rain gauge. Rain gauge. Okay. As Kerala receives rain from both the advancing and retreating monsoon. Okay, this is also a fact that Kerala is a state which receives rainfall from the advancing monsoon as well as from the retreating monsoon, which means that it is the first state to see the upcoming and the last state to see the going of the monsoon. Okay, so it receives around 400 centimeter of rainfall. Other areas receiving heavy rainfall include the Western Ghat, okay, the western coast and the slopes of Western Ghat up to Maharashtra, the southern slopes of Garo Khasi Jaintia hills from that Bay of Bengal branch of monsoon, right? Then places in Purvanchal range like the states of West Bengal, Assam, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. Then Cherrapunji, that is on the windward side of Khasi hills, get the rainfall from Bay of Bengal, and it's known as Cherrapunji and Mausanram are the two wettest places ever known on earth, right? So on the windward side of the Khasi hills, it receives around 1200 centimeter of rain, while Shillong on the leeward side receives only 250 centimeter. Okay, so we have all discussed about this many times. What is the windward side and the leeward side of the mountain? The side from which the wind ascent, that is moves upward, that is known as the windward side of a mountain, and the side at the back of that, which is the shadow region, is known as the leeward side. Okay, so always the places which are on windward side get more rainfall than those which are on leeward side. Okay, so that's all. Next are the regions of moderate rainfall, means which get a rainfall from 100 to 200 centimeter. So these are the parts of southern states that lie on the leeward side of Western Ghat again. Okay, these parts lie on the leeward side of the Western Ghat, that's why they get less rainfall. The southern parts of Tamil Nadu, the middle Ganga Valley, Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, eastern Madhya Pradesh, southern Gujarat, Jammu Kashmir. Okay, means the areas in the north where the southwest monsoon reaches after shedding most of its moisture in the Western Ghat, and the amount of moisture decreases from south to north. Okay, so these regions fall under the category of moderate rainfall. Now there are regions of scanty rainfall, means which receive a rainfall just 50 centimeter to 100 centimeter. So these are the western parts of the country. Okay, as we already studied that the western part of the country gets less rainfall because the wind drops most of its moisture in the western Ghats towards the south, and hence when it reaches the western part of the country, it has very less rainfall left, very less moisture left. Okay, so these are the regions, namely Upper Ganga Valley, then eastern Rajasthan, parts of Punjab, Haryana, Indus Plain, and a large part of Deccan Plateau. These belong to the regions of scanty rainfall. Okay, also we know the reason why Rajasthan gets less rainfall. Let us see the desert and semi-desert region, which get rainfall less than 50 centimeter in a year. Okay, that's why they have converted into desert, arid, that is dry regions. Okay, so this group includes the Ladakh region in North India, that's a cold desert. Then the Thar desert, which is a hot desert, and the areas around Gulf of Kutch, which is again a hot desert, all of which hardly receive any rainfall. Why do Thar Desert does not get any rainfall? Because the Aravalli ranges lie parallel to the direction of southwest monsoon. Okay. Now about the impact of monsoons on socio-cultural unity. What is the impact of monsoon on socio-cultural unity of India? See, since ancient times, Indian society has been an agrarian one. Okay, and for an agrarian society which is based on agriculture, yeah, whose primary occupation is agriculture, monsoon is a very important phenomena. Okay, all of their crops along with their hopes are based upon are dependent upon monsoon, right? So even today over half of the population is dependent upon agriculture, although other occupations have also come into being, but major population of India still lives in rural areas and practice agriculture. Over the centuries, Indian customs and festivals have come to closely reflect the seasonal patterns of farming. We have many festivals related with harvest, like Holi, like we have Lori, like we have Makar Sankranti. All these festivals are related to harvest. Okay, so people from every part of the country celebrate festivals that honor harvesting seasons. See, there are different states celebrating this harvest festival with different names. Some of these are Baisakhi in Punjab, then Onam in Kerala, then Makar Sankranti in Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh, Pongal in Tamil Nadu, and Bihu in Assam. All of them are the harvest festival. A good harvest is in turn dependent upon the timely arrival of monsoon. So as I told that a good harvest, a good crop, it means the hopes of the farmer all are dependent upon timely arrival of monsoon and in a good quantity. In the years of low or late rainfall, all the parts people from all the sections of society suffer. Okay, not only the farmers but also other people who are dependent on the farmers for their food requirements, they will also suffer, right, if there is less harvest. So low rainfall or drought adversely affect the production of crops. If there is dry condition, rainfall is not received for a year, then there will be drought condition and there will be low production. As a result, farmers lose their means of livelihood, means farmers do not have anything to sell. Then agro based industry which are dependent upon the production of crops, they will also shut down, they will also suffer because they depend upon agriculture for the heavy inputs of water, right? Dependent upon monsoon for rainfall, as well as dependent upon agriculture for their raw material. So thus a bad monsoon negatively impacts the economy too, and the impact of monsoon on the entire country is therefore very profound. That is very important, right? Now let us look at, so by closely analyzing every aspect of people's life, we see that monsoon serve as an important force that unites the people of India both socially and culturally. Okay. Now let us talk about the natural vegetation and wildlife of India. Here is a table given. You can see in this we can study the different types of vegetation, the places where they are found, what are the ideal conditions for their growth, their some characteristics, and the wildlife which is found in these regions. Let us see them one by one. First is the tropical evergreen rainforest. Tropical evergreen rainforest. Okay. Now, first, let me tell you why they are known as tropical evergreen rainforest. First of all, they are found in tropical region. That's why they are called tropical. Then, why they are called evergreen? Because if you see the ideal conditions for their growth, it's a rainfall more than 200 centimeter a year. Okay. So, in this kind of abundant rainfall, these vegetation grow very thick. Okay, very thick and long vegetation grows, and they never shed their leaves at one time, so they ever appear green. Okay, because they do not shed their leaves at a time, and they have a different time of shedding their leaves. Different trees have different time of shedding their leaves. That's why these forests always appear green and are known as evergreen rainforest, right? So what are the parts where they occur? Obviously, the parts which receive more than 200 centimeter rainfall only will have these evergreen kind of rainforest. Okay. So these are the western parts of Kerala, then Karnataka, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, that is northeast of India, Tripura, Mizoram, Nagaland, and the Andaman Nicobar Islands also, right? These are having a great variety of natural vegetation, that is forest, tropical evergreen forest, and wildlife too. So ideal conditions for growth, as we seen, 200 centimeter of rainfall or more than that, and 27 degree Celsius temperature, right? That is because of the tropical region. And trees found in the characteristics are, these found here include, which are the trees here, rosewood, ebony, and mahogany. Okay, these are the trees. Then these are evergreen, broadleaf, and hardwood. The leaves are broad, and these are hardwood trees. Okay, we find two types of wood from the trees, that is a hardwood and a softwood. So hardwood is both of them are used for different purposes. Okay. Hardwood obviously is used for making furniture, good quality furniture, and softwood is again used for making paper, right? So these are hardwood trees and evergreen because they do not shed their leaves at same time. Then wildlife found in these areas are lion-tailed macaque, Indian elephant, Nicobar pigeon, cheetal green sea turtle, then greater one-horned rhinoceros, great Indian hornbill, red giant flying squirrel. You can find out the pictures of all these animals while you search on the net, and you can identify them. Next up, we have the monsoon or tropical moist deciduous forest, right? Moist deciduous forest. So, deciduous forests are basically those forests which shed their leaves in one time during a year, okay? During a year, once they shed their whole leaves, okay? And become blank, right? So these are called deciduous forest when it is dry season. These are dependent upon monsoon, and when there is dry season they shed their leaves at once. So these are found on the eastern slopes of Western Ghat, which are the rain shadow areas, then across the northeast parts of the Deccan Plateau up to Shivaliks in the north, and also found on the hills of Narmada and Tapti Valley and Chota Nagpur Plateau. So basically they are found in the regions of moderate rainfall from 150 to 200 centimeter, okay? And the temperature required is again, because they are tropical, so that is 25 to 27 degree Celsius. And what is the characteristic? These trees include teak, sal, sandalwood, seemal, bamboo, banyan, mango, jackfruit, etc. And these are broadleaf deciduous hardwood. Okay, these are also broadleaf trees, but they shed their leaves at once. Now the animals found are Indian wild dog, sloth, bear, four-horned antelope, that is chaur singha, and Indian boar. Okay, all these are found here. Now see, next type is montane forest. Okay, so mountain forest means which are found on mountains, which can be found on mountains. Okay, so they cover the Himalayan states in the northern and northeast India, and the natural vegetation found here varies with altitude. That is their characteristic, that different kinds of vegetation can be found on different heights. Okay, that is from lower height to upper height. When we go, the nature of vegetation changes. Let us see, between 1000 to 2000 meter it changes, right? Eastern part of Himalayas have tropical deciduous trees like the sal, evergreen, bamboo, and eucalyptus, whereas western Himalayas have mixed temperate forest. Okay, these are the deciduous broadleaf trees like chestnut, oak, and maple, and also coniferous trees. You know, coniferous trees, the trees which have pointed leaves, okay, like fir and pine. Then from 2000 to 3000 meter, then we'll find mainly coniferous trees such as silver fir, cheer, pine, devdar, and spruce. Okay, the trees which have very pointed leaves. Okay, then more from 3000 to 5000 meter, again the vegetation changes, that is rhododendron thickets, bushes, shrubs are seen. Okay, means plants with less height can be seen. Beyond this height till snow line there are mountain grasslands. Okay, what is snow line? Do you know? The end of a glacier, the line from above which a glacier starts is known as snow line. Okay, everything is frozen above that line, so that's why that's called a snow line. Okay, so from a height of 5000 meter to the snow line, there are tropical grasslands. Okay, so this is the variation in the vegetation found in mountain forest. Now wildlife, there will be snow leopard, white-bellied musk deer, Himalayan blue sheep, Himalayan wild yak. Okay, these are some wildlife found. Let us discuss more types. Next is tropical thorn forest. Okay, so by thorn you can get an idea that these grow in dry areas. Like these are mainly in rain shadow regions of the Deccan Plateau, then eastern sides of the Aravallis. Okay, which are the rain shadow regions which get very less rainfall. That is from 25 to 100 centimeter, and the temperature is more than 20 degrees Celsius. What are the characteristics feature? Trees found here include the khajuri or the Indian date palm. Okay, date trees. Date is a fruit, dry fruit that we all eat, right? Then it is kikar, khair, and different types of acacia such as babol. Okay, these trees are found. And trees have long roots. See, trees have a power. Trees also are grown according to their adaptation characteristics. Okay, so the trees which are growing in a dry area have some characteristics which help them adapt to the environment. Like they have long roots, grow deep into the search of water, right? They have long roots so that they can search water deep in the soil. Then they have stunted growth, means they are located far from each other. There is no dense growth, right? Then they have small fleshy leaves to reduce loss of water. They have very small leaves, okay, and are very thick, so that the loss of water is reduced. Then they have thorns. Okay, thorns mean they have उनमें कांटे होते हैं. They have thorns and spines on the branches to prevent grazing animals from eating them. Okay, since they have thorns, so no one eat them. So wildlife found here are camel, Indian wild ass, great Indian bustard, black buck, Asiatic loin, and striped hyena. Okay. Now desert vegetation, the Thar or the Great Indian Desert, which stretches westward through the state of Rajasthan and the Kutch district of Gujarat. These are the areas where we can find the desert vegetation, and obviously if it's desert vegetation, the rainfall will be less than 25 centimeter. What is found here? Thorny bushes, okay, bushes with the thorns, and scrubs and crops up between the rocks and sand. Okay, these shrubs grow between rocks and sand. They are accounting for a really thin vegetation cover. Means there is no very identifiable, there's not much great cover of vegetation. It's a very thin cover. Okay, and wildlife found here is Indian spiny tail lizard, black cobra, rat snake. Okay, all these kinds of animal can be found. Now tidal or mangrove forest, these are kind of forest which are grown in the swampy regions, okay, in the delta regions of the country. These are basically plants or vegetation that grow with the help of water or underwater. Okay, so these are grown in marshy areas, swampy areas. Okay, if I say in Hindi, it's like कीचड़ वाले areas में दलदली areas जो होते हैं, which are formed near the deltas of the rivers. Okay, so these are found near the seaward edge of Ganga Brahmaputra delta. Okay, then Andaman Nicobar Island and land around the Gulf of Kutch, deltas of Mahanadi and Godavari, basically in the delta regions. Temperature required is 20 to 35 degree, and rainfall needs abundant, that is 200 to 300 centimeter, evenly distributed throughout the year. Okay, rainfall should be enough and evenly distributed throughout the year. Then trees found here are mainly it's Sundari tree. Do you know about the Sundarban Deltas? The Sundarbans are the largest delta of the world, right? So these Sundarbans delta are named as Sundarbans on the name of the Sundari tree which grows there. Okay, Sundari tree is a kind of species of tree which grows in the Mangrove Forest of Sundarban Delta, and hence these are known as Sundarbans. Other trees include Casuarina and Goran. Then the deltas formed by these rivers are prone to getting submerged during high tides. Okay, these deltas really get submerged during high tide, and breathing roots called pneumatophores enable the trees to live in the soft brackish mud. So they have outgrown roots. ठीक है, इनकी जो roots होती हैं वो soil के अंदर ना होके बाहर की side होती हैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि they take carbon dioxide from outside. Okay, these are the breathing roots. These are called pneumatophorus. Okay, some plants, as I told you, plants have adaptation abilities. Okay, so they adapt according to the environment. Royal Bengal tiger, estuarine crocodile, fishing cat, olive ridley turtle, spotted deer, all these animals can be found here. Okay, so this was all about the discussion of the types of vegetation and animals found in India. That's all. We'll complete the chapter in the next video.